Yeah, kid. On a Monday, let's get it. We ain't waiting for nobody to come in. Pause. I know I don't play that. I'm just playing. I niggas know I don't play that. Small guy, what up, man? Let's get it. Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes. She like, ooh la la, there you go. Reese, what up? She like, ooh la la, there you go. Ooh la la, on a Monday, best day, blessed day. Looking for Ams like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. Oh yeah, we live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Because over here on this side, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes. When those people don't be acting flaky, Popovism's 101, and of course, motivation. So before you jump off the page and usher to the left, slide to the right, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking. But you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. We in the end game because it's Monday. Monday motivation, motivational Monday. I am your motivational speaker, whether you like it or not. And here goes some motivation for your ass. Don't let them dream kill you. Don't let them tell you you can't do something when you know you could do it, even though you ain't done it yet. Your belief is up, your energy is high. Yeah, it's going to be some setbacks. Yeah, it's going to be some trials and tribulations as you climb up that mountain to get to wherever you personally want to get to. But don't let somebody that ain't never did it, even if you ain't never done it, tell you that you can't do it. Block it out. Tunnel vision like the horses. Win the race. Keep your head down. Keep working. And you're going to come out in your own way. And we live on Instagram. We live on Instagram here. We live on YouTube. And I got my own camera spinning in the back. So if you see me looking like in the circle, I'm not distracted. I'm just, you know what I mean, entertaining all of the viewpoints. Make sure they catch the good side. But that's motivation for you, right? And we're going to stick with the Monday motivational theme and me being your motivational speaker, right? Weekend was crazy, crazy. Y'all know it's Ramadan, so I'm going to have to like not dial it back and not be who I am on the show when I'm entertaining, pushing the message forward. Just giving my thoughts and opinions on how I see things and, you know, the trending topics, the news, entertainment, etc., sports, or what have you, right? Just my life, and I got to tell a story and how I see it. But I will be mindful that it is Ramadan. And just real quick, being how we still on Monday, and we're going to stay on Monday till at 12 o'clock, right? But last Sunday, ate my little last dinner. I came on here and told y'all Tuesday when I did the live, went to Ricardo's and it ain't really hit like it normally hit. And then Monday, Tuesday, and then Ramadan started Wednesday. So I didn't eat again all the way up until it was time to break the fast on Wednesday. Fast forward Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today is the 5th day. You look up, you ain't even know it. and 24 or 25 more days, depending on when the moon is sighted, Ramadan will be over like that. So I'm trying to get everything I could get out of it. It's been a little challenging with work. A lot of years in past, I've worked for self or on the side, did little things, etc. So I always have free time to go to the masjid, break fast, be with the brothers, do things on my own timing and schedule. And when you want somebody else timing and schedule, puts a little monkey wrench in it, so to speak. But anyway, we fasting, so we're gonna be mindful. I'm still going to be that feeling, right? Anyway, let's talk about this. Let's talk about first. Rest in peace to Cara Braxton, right? Two-time champion WNBA for the Detroit Shock, and close to Atlanta or out in Atlanta. Got into a car accident, just her by herself, allegedly, according to the reports that came out. Says she hit the concrete median or whatever, and just like that, you know what I mean? You're out of here. And do you ever think about when you out of here? Your record deal, video out of here, your Mercedes Benz and your Range Rover, all that is out of here. And your days as being the WNBA champion of the world, you out of here. Mother, father, lawyer, no matter what it is, life is precious, and we all should appreciate and be grateful and show gratitude to the Most High for whatever time we have here. Because as I say all the time on the channel, and I quote the Imam Talib, rest in peace, may the Most High have mercy on him. But the cookbar about how old are you? You know what I mean? And their thinking and perspective on why people can die young, and other people have different perspectives on when they say this view. Well, they was young, and we was only 13, it was only 12, and woo woo. And you think of the two kids that unalived themselves on, well, the young girl, Quran, and I can't think of the other child name, but they was on the live, horrific video, right? And they had the switch, and she killed her cousin by accident, and then the gun fell to the ground, and then it killed her. You know what I mean? Like, they both died, horribly, right on live. And people be like, they were so young and they was innocent, and woo woo woo. And I share those sentiments. Obviously, when life is lost, we don't play around with it. We don't, try to be insensitive and none of those things. But to their perspective, right, and how the Most High views our time here, as far as once you can procreate and reproduce another human being, whether you get your menstrual cycle at 12, 11, 13, not saying mentally you have the capacity to raise said child, but once you can ejaculate as a boy, and once you can, carry a baby, if you get impregnated, then you live long enough, basically, right? And the sister, Miss Braxton, she was 43, so definitely will say she was hella young, right? Only 43 years old, and my age bracket, I'm in her age range, you know what I mean? And you just never know when you're gonna go. You could be going to the store to get some milk and cigarettes, or whatever, you know what I mean? Your little snacks and whatnot. If you want to blow it down and relax, you had a long night, a long week, and a stray or a building, however we gonna go, nobody never knows how they're gonna go, when they're gonna go. The only thing that you do know is that today is the present, which is a gift. We should live in that moment, stay relevant in it, and be appreciative. So rest in peace to her, condolences to her family. Hopefully we get more details about why she crashed or what have you. Did she have an episode, etc.? Y'all know I work in the hospital sometimes. We got to go there to, talk to the family of somebody that was assaulted, stabbed, shot up, or whatever, right? And sometimes there's nobody in there, which I always be like, good looks, you know what I mean? That is not a victim in there. Anyway, I get to know the nurses and stuff like that. This is just a side note, but still dealing with death. And y'all know on the channel, I often say I want a quick death and an easy one. I don't want to die horribly. I don't think no human being wants to die horribly. Whether you have faith, you don't have faith, you're an atheist, whether you believe or you don't, and you don't know what's on the other side, or you do think you know for a fact what's on the other side. You still don't want to die horrifically. You know what I mean? Like, who's signing up to die horrifically? I don't think none of us sane mind, rational people would be like, yeah, sign me up to, to get smashed up and, or whatever. You know what I mean? We just not signing up for that. But it was one of the nurse birthdays when we go to the back and whatever. And I forget how I got to this, but she was like, yeah, and the person had a heart attack while they was driving. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. While you driving, you know what I mean? You can, not only are you dying, your life being taken, but it's possible that you can, you know what I mean, take somebody else's life. You know what I mean? So I like a Rahmatullah, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem. Yeah, kid, hope your fast going good. So, you just never know how you're going to die. That's why I brought that up. You could be driving, going to work, to pick up your kids could be in the car, and then you have a heart attack while you're driving, and then not only is your life lost, but you possibly could, take others' lives, right? We ain't going to make this a long show. I do got some topics we want to get at. Let's speak about horrifying, not horrific, but let's speak about horrifying and death-defying. Like right out there in Mexico, you know what I mean? The king of the cartel, Ruben something, El Cuevo, El Quasar, whatever his name is, right? Y'all seen it on the news. You seen it on your timeline where, people ran in the airport with guns and all that. And, I don't have the post. I look for it. I try to find it again, but I don't. But this what comes to mind, what I seen on the news today and what I'm about to say now is it's not like in the tourist part, Tulum, Cancun, Los Cabos. You know what I mean? I've been to Mexico twice. The first time was Cancun. You know what I mean? I think it was for Keith's birthday. Yeah, it was for Keith's birthday. And then we went out there for Keita's birthday. You know what I mean? In Los Cabos, right? And rest in peace, Keita. You know what I'm saying? Had mad fun out there. But couple of quick things, right? So when I took Keisha out there for her birthday, that was my first time too out in Cancun in Mexico, right? And it's the tourist spot, but yeah, I got the rental. You know what I mean? I don't know why we got a rental, but first time on it, you know what I mean? Just got the rental anyway to go to like do the snorkeling and all that. It's a little ways. And we end up driving, you know what I'm saying? Then got the locks playing, got the iPod playing my music and whatnot, having a good time. But, no speaking, no Spanish, right? Just like no speaking in English. And when you in another country, over here, I'll tie a few things in. Over here with the whole migrant and immigrants and the illegals, not illegals, what ICE is doing, what they not. How people could come over here, do what they want, so it seems, and then one side, the left or the right, whichever one you want, is fighting the power one way or they fighting the power the other way. But basically, you can't just go to another country and do what you want. You know what I'm saying? And if you think you could, then go to Russia, go to China, go to Mexico, go to these other countries, India, go to Dubai, you know what I mean? Like places, wherever you could think of, and see if you don't follow the rules or you came across the border and you didn't come through customs to clear what you had, and like, I'm here for business, I'm here for vacation, I'm here with the missus and my kids and woo, and and just see what happens. Like, dad and try it, right? But anyway, we was out there driving, and then as we driving, she had to use the bathroom, you know what I mean? So we stopped at like a little gas station, right? And this shit is like this joint is like a movie, right? Because you looking at all the Spanish words, which you don't know, right? I know they got the translator and stuff now that you could just, Google translate this for me, or your meta glasses or whatever. But this was, let me see, 2018 or 19, something like that. Maybe even 17. I gotta look. But we seem like we going further and further, even though we was going in the right direction, but it seems further, start getting a little shaky, a little nervous, a little shaky, you start to get a little nervous because you passing places starting to look poorer, you know what I mean, or not like the resorts, because it's not. We came out the resort to go where we was going. And anyway, we get the little gas station. I think she ordered, went to use the bathroom. She fake and speak a little bit of Spanish, just a little bit, you know what I mean? A little poquito, right? And so they could tell that, but people start looking, and I've had to pay for the food and stuff. Anyway, just a little unease, a little bit being in uncomfortable surroundings on places that you're not really familiar from. You don't speak the language, you don't know the culture like that, and you not a fish out of water, sturdy everywhere, but this is the Most High's earth, and we should be able to travel abroad as we wish, even though it is red tape that you have to pass. Anyway, I'm bringing up all this to say out there in Mexico, which we started with, is one of the leaders of the cartel was clipped off. I don't know if it's the U.S. or in conjunction with another country or whatever. He was bad for business. Bang, they whacked him. And the foot soldiers is not having it. So they came in the airport allegedly looking for Americans, right? To take hostage and, do the most to, because we the most hated. Sometimes I understand why. And I mean, even though I feel like I ain't a part of it, but I understand why. We the bullies, we the bad dudes on the block, we the evil people, right? The mad scientists. We go to everybody country, dictate, or we try to have say-so over everybody else country. And so folks don't like that. But under that comment, when I seen it on Instagram, it's not in those tourist places. That's why I went to that whole, little quick side story. Because somebody in the comments like, y'all stop acting like y'all been traveling to wherever this place is at. It's not Cancun, it's not, the tourist places. And then what do you see on the news today? You see that it has, reached those tourist places. And so for the Americans, they're like, yo, get on the phone, call the embassy, the U.S. embassy, let them know, that you're out there, stay sheltered in place. Like, where the hell am I supposed to stay sheltered in place at? Just like, when the big storm hit Jamaica. Jamaica. Like the tourist that was in Jamaica. And it's like, all right, well, we was only supposed to stay here for 5 days. Unforeseen events took place. And now we got to be here for 6 days, 7 days, 8 days. We don't have the money. And, they don't have the same accommodations, obviously because, something horrific and catastrophic, Mother Nature then struck the land, and now we living off the land in survival mode. You just never, want to be, I don't want to be in a foreign land, country, or place where, the homemen or the home people is feeling like you food because, one of their peoples was done dirty by your country and you in their country. I can just imagine that feeling, being in your hotel room or wherever you at, and you looking on the news out there and it's in Spanish or whatever language, and you like, damn it, man, we food out here. Airports is canceling flights. You seeing fires pop up, mad trucks and just cars was on fire, and it just looks super, super crazy and scary, even for a tough New York City guy like me, right? Like, damn it, man, please don't put me in nothing like that. Anyway, let's talk about this aftermath of the blizzard, right? And for those that don't know, it seems like it's every 10 years, 12 to 15 years, we have a big, 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 massive storm, right? 1996, 1986, obviously 2026, 2016. We've been sometimes they pop up in in the odd numbers as well. But New York City, I'm from New York. We just had like a little snowstorm, maybe like 2-3 weeks, a month ago. It was just clearing out, and then yesterday or Sunday, Saturday night rather, or whatever, we just had the big storm, right? Some places got 22 inches, 20 inches, etc. And man, Zoro Mandani, only a month in, getting a lot of criticism, a lot of ridicule. People is banging him up. You ain't even lived that long to be the superhero before you turn into the villain. And some criticism is warranted. I think like 20-something people, unfortunately died through hypothermia out on these New York streets. Whether they was, out there on their own, or they wasn't forced, or nobody got to them. They didn't know where the warming sensors was, etc. I know they got the big bus. If you were in Harlem, by Harlem Hospital, they got the big warming bus, etc. Sometimes you could go in the hospitals, to try to get warm for a little bit. If you don't want to go to the shelter, that's just a side note. But anyway, this is like where the criticism is coming, because they're looking for snow removal, right? For people to come in and be an extended part of sanitation and have and do the snow removal, because on the last storm that we had, which wasn't as big as this one. This one was, they saying top 10, top 5 dead or alive, and that's just off one blizzard, right? To quote Jada, I've stayed in really, you know what I mean? My day off is Sunday and Monday today, and then I go back. So it ain't really affect me like that. I cleaned in front of my building, you know what I mean? A lot of elderly people, or just myself, ain't want, have to climb over all of the snow, so I did my little good deed, right? But for the most part, it ain't bother me. It was probably gonna bother me tomorrow when I got to return to work. Depending on how well they clean up. But the criticism was the snow stayed too long. It was mad dookie, right? All over the sidewalks, mad doo-doo. And I walked the streets, and as part of my job as a cure violence worker, we patrolled the neighborhood. Maybe not patrol, we canvassed the neighborhood. Definitely not patrol, because we're not police and none of that vein. We ain't locking nobody up. We ain't pointing the fingers. We ain't doing none of that. Not patrol, canvass. Anyway, we canvassed through the neighborhood, and all you was seeing is doo-doo everywhere. Like every foot, you had to like really hopscotch doo-doo, which was horrible. Now, that's not the mayor or the city's fault. That's y'all nasty ass neighbors' fault. That's my neighbors. That's your neighbors. That's people that don't care where they live. They got no self-esteem of where they live. Because I love animals. I had a little dog before, my little polo face. I still got my cat, Spotty Face. You see, names are similar. I love animals. Always came up, in the household. At one point in time when we was kids, we had a dog and a cat, Brutus and Sheba, right? Bye, assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. So I love animals, but I don't love them enough to clean up after them. Like the cat is self-sufficient. The dog, you got to clean up. So a lot of dog doo-doo everywhere, real nasty, bring the quality of life down. And you got to say the people that just let your dog, go right there in front of the building you live in, or in front of the store people got to walk in, or just like, I get it. Most of the trees was filled up with snow, so your dog couldn't get over, but pick it up. Because in certain areas, people don't live like this. They don't have that mindset of somebody else to do it. It's just dog doo-doo. It's going to get washed away with the rain and the sanitation and clean it up. No, you clean it up. And y'all know on the channel, if you've been rocking with Pop If's TV, I be playing, but I'm not. Like when it comes to that, I'm like jail time. If somebody that broke the law, did crime, and then got caught and did hard time, I will lock your asses up. I will put cases on all you mother, and it's Ramadan, so I'm not going to finish it. Have y'all asses in Pelican Bay on a cabbage diet. That's a fact. I will have you in Pelican Bay to be 139. What's the word? Salute to y'all, right? Love what y'all doing over there for the community. Shouts to the real rights. If you got a dog and you don't clean up after your dog, I put you on the cabbage diet. If you've been locked up, you know what that's like. Ain't nothing nice. And you'll be like, damn, somebody that's locked up immediately, you like, damn, Lee, you gonna put a dog owner on a cabbage diet for not cleaning up after their dog? Yeah. And we gonna send you to Rikers. You think Rikers is worse? Sending you right to Rikers and let you deal with that for 90 days, locked up, gonna lose your job, all that, just because it's so nasty. And just clean up. But that's a side note. I ain't really want to go off on that. That's not the mayor's fault. That's the people in our neighborhood that don't care about where they live. That's their fault. Another thing, trash removal, that's their fault. Anyway, why am I bringing this up? At my job, I talked about this on the channel. We did like the little registry for people that wanted to come in and make some money removing the snow. And the flyer had said one thing when they got there. It was like, surprise. Now y'all need 2 picture IDs. You need this, you need that. And basically, the butt of this joke, and the jokes write themselves, are why they're looking at Zoro Mandani, the new mayor, and why they're looking at the Democrats with the side eye, is basically saying for the Republicans, y'all know I'm not neither one. Republicans like, yo, we need voters ID. And the Democrats are like, nah, that's racist. You trying to profile, and certain people can't find a birth certificate. They can't find this, they can't find that. What adult can't find their ID, their birth certificate, or their social? When you go into certain places, you need these things off the rip. That's in a Like for me, you know what I mean? If it's a fire or something like that, and I've been in a few fires in my childhood and adult, I've been in some fires, right? That's right there in this in a little box or your little cabinet where you know you got your little some cash, you got your important documents. For these Republican Democrats, haven't seen my birth certificate in a while. It should be in a safe place. Anyway, the pushback is so these people need to have an ID, Social Security, 2 photo IDs, just to remove some snow. Yet y'all saying to vote for the presidency, the borough president, the governor, the mayor, these important elections, that they don't need these things. It's an oxymoron, and it shows you the hypocrisy, who we really got in power trying to tell you, Gray, what up? You know, what's right and what's wrong. Here's another kicker, right? Not only do you need all of these documents, Social Security, ID, 2 forms of a picture, like a passport too, right? So a lot of the people that had came to my job that day, and we seen over 100 people, and even after we was done registering, people still was trickling in like, yo, y'all still doing snow removal? Y'all still doing snow removal? The caveat is you can have all your documents, show up to do the work, but when do you get your money? Right. Because a lot of people was like, I never did snow removal. So a lot of the questions they was asking, I didn't know. I had to run back in the office. They was outside. Too many of them to go in the office with sanitation. I run inside, yo, they asked this. Come back outside, tell them the answer. Somebody else from the crowd would be like, yo, what's up? So I come back out. Listen, if you thinking about doing snow removal, you got family members, relatives, regular people on your block that's not working, the regulars that's, you know what it is, right? They ain't got no regular job, or they just, doing whatever. You can go show up and have your documents and do the work, but you won't get paid until 3 to 5 weeks. Just imagine that. You come show up to do back-breaking work. It's not like you planting flowers and you serving some food. You going to dig in the shovel, get your back wet, you know what I mean? Get your knees bent, and you lifting up snow and all that. And it's labor. It's manual labor. And they say, 1 for you, 1 for me. 2 for you, 1, 2 for me. No, 3 for you, 1, 2, 3 for me. You start sitting there and saying, hold on. Now, I know if you go into a regular job, right? They normally hold your first paycheck, so if you get fired or whatever, you get that last check that comes to you. But I'm saying, I'm showing up to work at 6 in the morning. I'm working a 12-hour shift for 4, 5, 6, 7 days to remove the snow. Then I'm not getting paid till 3 to 5 weeks? You really don't want the snow removed. And where is the sanitation workers, Mayor? Come on, New York City. This is New York City, big city in dreams, where everything in New York ain't always what it seems. You might get fooled if you come from out of town. You might get fooled. But we New Yorkers here, like, where's the workforce? Where are they? Come on. And if you really want the work done, this is where it's like he's a socialist, progressiveness, the left, the right. And when they asked him on the news, and I noticed why the reporter asked him, because basically that's why I brought up the Republicans saying, we want to get voters ID, so we can't get illegal people voting for either side, right? Show your ID. You should show your ID. You should have a valid ID. So, you know what I mean? I'm not really surprised that you got to show your ID so they could pay you just to remove snow. But check it. If they really wanted it done, they will let people show up. You know what I'm saying? Just have a valid ID. Let them work. Then pay them at the end of the night. Pay them at the end of the night. You got the money because we print this. You don't need to get my social. You don't need my bank account. You don't need my direct deposit. You don't need my address to mail me a check 5 weeks later. You want the work done. The way that people showed up at my job to work, I know they would show up if they said, listen, show up at 6 o'clock, bring your shovel. If you don't, we got shovel, we got gloves. Listen, we're going to drive you to the locations. You're going to work for 10 hours. At the end of the night, we piecing you off your money. The people that just standing around drinking, the drunk people, the get high people, the regular people, the young people that's hustling, but it ain't really going their way, they're going to show up. They're going to say, oh, I'm getting paid at the end of the night. we getting $20 an hour, or it could go up to $30 an hour. I'm gonna work 8 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, and I'm getting paid at the end of the night, cold hard cash. Where do I sign up at? On my day off, I was like, I'm gonna show up. You know what I mean? After I get up, y'all still removing snow? Let me get my money. But when you start saying, as soon as when I said that, and I came out, I'm like, yo, they talking about 3 to 5 weeks. Mad people started disappearing and jumping off the line. Because now you playing in my face. You playing in my face. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like, no, but at least you're going to be in the system for next time, and woo, 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 People will show up to work if they know they're going to get paid with no problems. It's decent pay so they can have something for themselves with no problem. No problem. And the people that showed up just wasn't drug users and junkies and homeless people. It was regular people like myself that just is not working right now. It's just the system ain't working for them. They haven't got employment yet. So they showing up to work, honest wages, honest living. Pay them. Pay them, and they'll show up. All the snow will be removed by Friday. Guarantee starting tomorrow. You say, yo, show up at 6. We going to all these boroughs. You'll have thousands of people coming to work if you was paying them right then and there at the end of the night. Now, whether they show up tomorrow because they took their money, went and got high, overdosed on fentanyl or whatever, that's a whole nother story. But I guarantee you, if you was paying them at the end of the night, they would show up and they would work. That's just a side note. We ain't gonna be on here that much longer. Let's talk about this 50 Cent joint, right? T.I. released like 2 songs, and they type fire too. I ain't gonna play the songs, but 2 songs. One I think he just released today. The other one was like gearing up towards and really not mentioning them. Both kind of fire. I know he got an album coming out, so some say he just using it as publicity, the 50 Cent stimulus package, where you're gonna get a little buzz off of that alone. But the picture that everybody's going crazy over is T.I. wife, right? Tiny King mother, and respect to her. We ain't trying to disrespect nobody or whatnot. But in my opinion, right, he only posted up a picture that was from a performance or somewhere on stage, unless he doctored the picture. Then it's like, you ain't had to do that. But if he just posted a picture, I think, let me show you the picture. Let's show the picture. I got the picture, right? I think I got the picture. Do we got the picture? No, that's not it. Where's the picture at? The infamous picture, right? And I may not have it. It's spinning online. Anyway, she got her BBL. You know what I mean? She a little tiny, her name, right? She a little small, little petite woman that she was. Obviously, age, you put on weight like a lot of us, you're going to get that grown man weight. You're going to get that grown woman weight, right? Depending on your diet and all of those other things, those other variables. But anyway, she on stage, look like she looking up, she's singing, and whatever little dress she had on, I guess sometimes they be having wind blowing or, for the performance side of it to give it effects of, certain things like, smoke could come up and, wind will blow for your hair to be blowing. Anyway, the back of her little dress blew up, right? And you can see a little bunning tinge, right? And look a little funny style. We know she got her little butt done, right? And it don't look attractive to me, but she not my wife and I ain't got to lay with her, so I don't care. I still can have an opinion on it. And basically, he just like, listen, he posted up the picture and he said, yo, keep my name out your mouth. Basically talking to T.I. And from that, I won't play all the cursing, and all the stuff, but King, he going crazy with it. We dig your moms up. And, and again, I'm not defending 50 Cent. And he going to get all the shots that he deserved from all of the trolling that he do. So who am I to tell somebody else that what they say about him or his family or his moms and all that is out of bounds? I can't say that it's out of bounds. Be like, yo, how about my moms and your moms do a verses and you dig that bitch up? And you know what I mean? Like, going in, your mom's just kissing the woman. DJ, what's the word? And it's just like, my thing is, was he really being disrespectful? 50, that is. If he's just posting up a picture that's public or viral of her and what she did to her body. It's not his fault. He didn't do anything. He's trolling, yes. But again, the only way I see fault is if he doctored the picture. We know it's been some viral videos, people using AI now to, you know, paint pictures and draw narratives of people when it's really not them. You know what I mean? But we seen Tiny before. We seen her when she was in Escape, when she was young and vibrant. We seen her all the way up till she had the mustache online and not looking her best, you know, to looking her best. This is people that live in the public eye. So if all I do is just repost a picture that's already out there in the public, people are already talking about it, why are you mad at me? Because I just put the caption, keep my name out your mouth. That's it. That's all I did. And from that, you know, again, T.I. sitting at the table with his family. A lot of people like, that's the biggest flex, you know, family and woo, and I get it. Family is a big, 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 big flex. And unfortunately, although people are using that to, you know, jab at the King Troll 50, a lot of people don't value their family as much as we should, right? We don't help the family as much as we should. And then family and relatives is different anyway, right? Because you can have the same last name, you can have the same blood running through, you know, your veins, but you're not family. You're not tied at the hip. You're not locking arms. You're not, you know what I mean, going through the, you know, the highs and the lows together to help try to get over. You're not. It's just a name. It's just a brother. Oh, that's my cousins and them. Oh, that's my brother. You know, we don't really rock with each other. That's my sis. Some people ain't even rocking with their parents and their moms, right? The whole gorilla thing, right? People like, she ain't obligated to do nothing, right? And then the Carissas, Shields, that is, and congratulations on her, you know, putting it down and winning again. One thing people can't say about her, they keep comparing her. Remy says she keep talking about her, but one thing, that girl got hands and she the champ. The champ is here. Can't say that nothing bad about that. Her fighting skills is impeccable and another, you know what I mean, another win under the belt. Like, she eating W's all the time. Anyway, we know that she went over, above and beyond for her family. Says she made sure all of it was good, or her immediate family, and they took advantage of her. So, you know, the flex is the family when you look at it from that perspective of, yeah, you know, it's not the riches, it's not the, you know, the glam, the glitz, the fame, the notoriety, you know, all the stuff that we sacrifice. And I say we, obviously the people that's, you know, sacrificing certain fields and professions to become the best around, and nothing's ever going to keep you down. They do it for their family. You sacrifice the time and the stuff with your family so that you can provide for your family on a level that they never would have been able to have getting, you know, provided for if you went into sacrifice and missed those basketball games, or you missed the play, or you did whatever because you was working double shifts and you was working a garbage man and you was Uber. Like, you know what I mean? Some people really, you're a cab driver and then you a chef at night, whatever it is, you're a cure violence worker, but then you got your YouTube channel or whatever you doing, right? You working and working and working and working so that you can provide for your family so that they don't have to need for nothing. But your kids, some of them, right, even for the successful ones, they'll say, yeah, you know, having everything I wanted, all electronics and all the new iPhones and the iWatches and all that was good, but I wish you would have came to my play. When I was the little teapot and a little teacup, you know what I mean? I wish you would have came to my play, daddy or mommy. But you in the hospital, you know, you're working 16-hour shifts. You know, when you get older, you say, yeah, my mother sacrificed, my father sacrificed. But when you're little and you're a kid and you always with the babysitter and nobody comes to the karate matches, they don't get to see you know, your little stuff that you do because they're busy working to provide for you. You understand it later. As a kid, you feel like your parents may not love, but they don't rock with you like that. They're not supporting you like that. And then they'll try to tell you, but you got the new book bag, you got the new Apple Watch, I brought you the new laptop, or, you know, you got the new shoes or the Biggie coat. I'm providing you with, you know, materialistic things, when really a lot of people are saying, T.I., that's what we're talking about. The big flex is he got his family still with him because 50 Cent don't got no family. His oldest son obviously hated him, Marquise or whatever. His young son, you know, he ain't got no wife and none of that. So, you know, people is like, that's how T.I.'s flexing on him. This last thing before we get off to T.I. and then jump to the other 50 Cent topic because he stays in the news. I read the 50th Law of Power, and it's an excellent book. It's a, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should read more, not just because it's 50 Cent. You should read. It's a lot of great books out there for you to read, right? And I'm talking about when I was locked up and when I came home, I kept that habit of reading. Even though I mess words up all the time, and I definitely mispronounce people's names, my enunciation is horrible. But I can read, right? Anyway, it's an excellent book, and it's a spinoff. Robert Greene, 50th, 48 Laws of Power. Obviously, he jumped the 49th law and he made it the 50th, playing on the name 50 Cent. Excellent book, but everybody that's beef with 50 Cent or he has troll, their views go up exponentially, right? It's like, all right, T.I., you got an album coming out. You say that y'all, back in 2021 or whatever, was talking about doing the verses, and he said, yeah, y'all was going to celebrate each other's music like DMX and Snoop did, which was one of the best verses, in my opinion. Rest in peace to the dog, right? One of the best verses, right? And they wasn't really like going at each other, but the songs was that energy. If you seen it, then you know. So T.I. was like, we was going to be like a celebratory type of verses. And then he act like we never talked about it. But 50 like, y'all been told us, dude, stay away from me. I don't want nothing to do with you. And now that your album is coming out, it seems like, not clout chasing, because T.I. is a mega star. Whether, not just in the South, and he's one of the top rappers and lyricists in my book, from New York. He's on that list of dope MCs. You can say what you want, and he got the hits to back it up. Definitely, we already went through this, when we was talking about 50 Cent and him doing the verses. Now we're talking about the album and the disrespect and all that. A lot of people got the narrative that 50 he only got smoked for black folks. And I would kind of side with that. I kind of spoke about that with the whole Diddy joint. Him saying he the only one spoke up. No, you're not. Plenty of people did. But it is what it is. At this point in his life, I don't think he getting back in the booth. So we could kind of like hang up those, thoughts of him coming back and battling. Whether he was better or not, I just don't think he's want to get in the booth. I think the desire to rap is gone. It been gone. It been gone. He don't have to. He on to other things. Not to say that T.I. got to rap or, Jim Jones or whatever, or any, Fab or whatever. Obviously, Fab and them did the freestyle. We talked about that too on the live. But he definitely don't got to do it. He definitely don't got to do it. And he probably not going to do it. He's probably not going to do it. Now, if he got a movie, he might jump on the soundtrack and do something like that to help promote the movie. But as far as just rap, he not Nas, guys. He not certain people that's just going to keep doing music because they love doing music. Even Cam, they had his beef with Nas. He came out like, nah, I think like Nas really is one of them guys that just love hip hop. And I bring him up because he in my era come up off now. But there's plenty of other people that they just love the music. So every now and then, even if they like kind of considered old to the youth, they'll still throw out an album. They'll still, put out some music. Whereas certain people, once they stop or that's it, they won't put out no music. They're not even inspired to put out music. But here's the other thing with 50 Cent. Him and Jim Jones again, right? We're seeing the viral videos of, Jim Jones kicking the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was, Papa, don't hit me no more, right? And allegedly, maybe kind of sort of, I don't know. I did see same thing y'all seen with 50 Cent hugging her, looked like an Asian dude. But when the audio first came out, I was saying it sounded like a Jewish white dude, right? I guess it's the owner of the building. 50 Cent like, yo, let me get the building, let me buy the building. Allegedly, he did buy the building, right? Changed the locks, cut the lights out. You hear the guy like, yo, they cut the lights out. It's hilarious. It's comedy, right? Pure comedy. The jokes write themselves. You see Jim Jones walking around all mad with the little sweat on, sweatpants, kicking the jump off. Ultimately, they get in, and then they gets back in because you see him driving in his car right into the facility. And every time it seems that he's allegedly evicted, he's back in. Just real quick, far as law, I'm not a lawyer, but I did get my law library certificate, right? My legal aid, my legal aid certificate, helping people when I was locked up. Definitely not the same as out here, but I'm saying I do know the branches of law, unlike the policeman. He know the 3 branches of law. You at the top of the chain inside the department, and you don't know oh, you can't make this stuff. I was so mad that he was a black guy. So mad. Anyway, I helped on a few light appeals, jail appeals, and stuff like that. So I know a little bit. I know a little bit. I'm not a lawyer, though, right? And I'm not a paralegal. But I do know, even if you are evicted or your landlord is taking action to get you evicted and removed from the premises, it's still red tape that they have to go to. They cannot just come, change the locks, lock you off from your property, and then the case is over, you're dead. Like, that's not how it works. They put in the motions and stuff first, and they notify the city, say, hey, this person is behind on rent. We have went through certain measures to obtain said rent. We exhausted all our remedies, and now we move to evict. Then the city notifies you, Kareem Akbar, the true leader of the C&B, and they say, listen, landlord is taking action against you. They're saying you owe back rent. You have up until such and such date to answer this petition to remove you. Otherwise, the marshals then can come and put the locks on the door. So before the marshals come change the locks, you have a right to go before the judge and say, hey, judge, yeah, I know I'm behind in my rent. Woo, times is hard. Or I'm withholding the money because these is pieces of landlords. I'm still fasting. I know I curse a lot on the channel. I didn't realize how much I cursed every time I'm about to curse, and I'm like, let me relax on that. This piece of garbage landlord doesn't do anything in my apartment building, so we withholding the rent. You can answer, and then the judge say, all right, well, how can we remedy this? They just don't throw you out. And I'm talking tenant, and that may be a commercial property where he has his little podcast and, his studio where they doing, all the branding and a little store and all that pop-up shop. So he's not evicted. He could be in the process of getting evicted. That's why you keep seeing him come back. I know it's when it's cold outside, like you see the air blowing out his mouth, and he like, see me at the top of your Explore page. Well, let me tell you about my life, me, how everybody's talking about my business. You keep seeing him coming back because legally you cannot just evict him from the premises without going through the steps first. So even if 50 Cent brought the building, you still gonna have to go to court and let the judge hit that gravel and say, all right, now we heard all of the facts. We had a trial. You presented your evidence. They presented their evidence. Now my decision is you have the such and such date to get out. If you're not out by this date, the marshals will put the lock on your door and you won't be able to get your property, or we'll set a time for you to get your property between these times. Police will be there, building management or whatever, so you can get your stuff peacefully and everybody can go about their business. That's how it will work. Not just they lock the doors and you can't get in your property. They cannot do that. So back again, being how we still speaking about 50 Cent. First with the T.I., first with the wrap up and with everybody else. It does seem like he got smoked with everybody else except for those other people. Right? No other people in them high places. No other people that probably could crush his empire or, do what's been done to other people that we seen. And maybe he ain't got no dirt, and that's great, right? Because it's like, seem like all these minds got dirt on them, right? But maybe he don't. I just found that a little, I don't like it. It's fun, while we just scrolling online and you just passing, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like, same thing with people in your neighborhood. They only got smoke for you, but it's other people in our neighborhoods now. It's not just blacks in the neighborhood. It's Asians living in your neighborhood. It's Ukrainians living in your neighborhood. It's Arabs living in your neighborhood. It's Jews living in your neighborhood. It's regular white people, like it's Europeans. It's not just black. So it's other people here, but it seems like they don't get no smoke. I get smoke because I look like you. And what makes you ashamed of being black? Right, what makes you ashamed of being black? Which brings us to these last two topics, and we're going to get out of here. I seen this video. I thought it was interesting. Where is that? Happens all the time in your neighborhood. Oh, this the guy right here. Chinese guy. Chinese guy. Or, whatever he is, Cambodian. He a look of Asian descent. This right here on this MonDaY motivation, this is the last two topics. and we getting out of there. I wanted to keep it under an hour. Read it. Can you read the words? And we live on Instagram and we live on YouTube.
Oh, nah, there's a bunch of them over there. I should probably go back.
Who the fuck is that nigga?
Nah, who is this nigga? Nah, who is
Yo,
this?
who the fuck is that?
I don't even know what's up with boy. Damn. I knew I should have just took my ass home and stayed out the way.
Who the fuck is this nigga right here?
Nah, who the fuck is this nigga walking down the block?
Damn, he already saw me though, so if I walk back, they gonna think I'm soft and it's gonna give them a green light to fuck with me every time they see me. Just have to walk through these niggas.
Gotta walk through, baby.
Make sure you're somewhat looking at them, but not for too long. That'll invite an issue, but also don't not look at them because that signals that you're soft and then it'll also invite an issue. Walk right, fix your shoulders, make sure you're not
Fix your shoulders.
Hold them back. Get your hands out your pockets. Get your hands out your pockets. You crazy? Don't give them a reason to fuck with you.
Yo, this is crazy.
Moment of truth.
We don't own the rights to this
Good,
music.
you might get fucking fried out here.
You don't like about that light, but shit. Yeah, watch that.
Y'all see what I'm saying?
Boy about to get his shit broke over here.
There you go. Don't fold. Don't fold, dog. You're
Don't
doing
fold,
good.
don't fold, you're
God
doing
is
good.
with you. Keep going. You're almost there. You're almost there.
Damn, I hope they don't try and beat this nigga up. You good, homie. You better keep it moving, though. Or niggas pack you up.
You don't even look like you're trying to harm anyone. God, please don't let any of the pros.
Please.
You know I'm trying to do right. Cut that thing on me. Make it get like that. You're almost there. You're almost there.
That jacket is tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Niggas start feeling
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Good job.
That's hilarious.
Now relax. Calm down. You can breathe. You survived for the moment. Take a moment to breathe. Sturdy up, though, because we're going to have to go
Sturdy up.
3 or 4 more blocks until we reach our destination. And more than likely, we're going to have to go through this all over again.
Order a pizza, kid. More than likely, you're gonna have to go through this all over again. So it was mad funny. It had me in tears the first time I seen it, and even now, right? Hilarious. Until you dive deep, and then you realize this is the reality. It's fun and games. It's like online. When you scroll, and it's all fun and games because it's just online. It doesn't affect you. Till you're that person, or you the person with the group. Even though I've been out of this mindset, and I never was gang. You know, obviously I played in the streets. I did stuff in the streets. My attitude is gangster. So I stay in some beef, right? Like the quote 50. So we've been there and done that. We happy that our mindset has changed. We happy that the Most High has let us get older and mature mentally, not only in age, right? But mentally, because it's a lot of grown children out here. But then it's sad when you say, oh, but you're black. So that goes back to what I said before showing that clip. It's a lot of people in the neighborhood now. So for the people that are like, nah, black on black is because we live around black people. Yeah, we live around black people, but we're not segregated. Them days been over since Martin Luther King told us to integrate. We've been not segregated no more. We're integrated now. And I know at one point in time it was the ghetto. Nobody's smiling. The ghetto. And I know it's rough in the GHETT. I know that. But they still move here anyway. They move here, they raise the prices, they move you out. Move your mom and them out of the sticks. You know what I mean? Send them to somewhere else because they raise the rent and our broke asses can't afford it. So it's other people here now. So that argument is dead. That's a weak argument. It's other ethnicities that live right here in the same building you live in. You might not be paying that $3,000, but they are for that 1-bedroom apartment. So why does that matter? That matters because when they walk past a group like that, although they may have some of them thoughts like that, I hope they don't rob me or whatever, we ain't looking at them saying those things in the heads of those people. Yeah, you know what I mean? This bitch ass nigga, who this nigga is, and looking at you like food. We're not looking at them like that. In fact, they looking at you like you standing in the way while they walking their little shih tzu through your neighborhood. You the king of the Bloods and the king of the Yetas, and they coming through with their little poodoo, right? And their little kids in tow, and they looking at you like, what you just doing, just standing here all day? Because I pay $4,000 rent in Harlem. My rent is $5,700 for a 2-bedroom with the balcony. Oh, right, you don't got no balcony. Your moms don't got a balcony, but they do. And it's like, damn, we have this energy for ourselves, but not nobody else. And don't misinterpret my video. I'm not saying go out and do stuff to other people. I never would, push that type of energy. I'm just saying, why do we have it for ourselves? What's in you that soon as when you see another black man, this is not all people. Again, I was on and I'm not. So I'm definitely not talking about myself. I'm talking to my younger self, how I used to be. You see people come on your block or pass you ice grilling them, looking at them like, what the hell they doing over here? What's up? It's drama, it's beef. It's beef. No, it's not beef. I just live here like you, nigga. I just live on the same block you live on. Or I live on the block over, across the street. And I'm going to the school. Or I'm going to the store. Why do we look at people that we don't even know with the same skin complexion like they the enemy? I don't get it. And this is the last topic that I'll close out, because not only do we hate each other, or it seems like we hate each other, and what makes you ashamed of being black? Is this topic right here. Even I think they talking about Geechee Gotti in the grand scheme of things, as far as why he don't got money for bail money, or why he don't have certain things. And I'm sure he got the money, but it's just make us think like, for a long time, right, in the black community, and I've been around for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? I ain't old as dirt, but I've seen a lot of things as a 70s baby, right? Born in the 70s, right? Wreck the chef, what's the word? Anyway, let me play the clip of Goods.
That Jazz putting up a tweet now saying they need 10,000 for a lawyer. This is when the problem comes for me, because I'm not gonna bash you, but you don't got 10,000 for a lawyer. Now I'm gonna say something about that. The first thing they teach you or you learn is put money up for a lawyer. You gotta have money put up for a lawyer. Period. If you're in the street, so you don't got 10,000 for a lawyer. Even as a grown man, you don't got 10,000 in your account for a lawyer. That's where the problem coming with me at. So that means that what was you doing? You were just getting money, blowing it. So that means all from the battle rap to all this money you get, you just blowing it. That just shows what type of person you are.
All right, so that's a small clip, and obviously we don't want to, come jump to mad conclusions. But I did want to segue the last topic with, blacks hating blacks and only having smoke for blacks, especially in the neighborhood when there's other ethnicities there now for you to have smoke with if you wanted to, right? But from the 70s, the dope era, then the crack era, a lot of black folks got a lot of money on different blocks, whether it's Harlem, whether it's Brooklyn, whether it's Detroit, Michigan, Atlanta, any place you could think of where, niggas was bubbling, baby. You were party animal, you was getting money. Some invested and tried to, do things, but not enough. And it's like, to what he's saying, what are you doing with the money? And that's all of us. Anybody sold any type of drugs for an extended period of time, money done ran through your hands, whether, the plug got most of it, you got your cut, you partied out, brought change, brought bottles, brought a couple little Gucci slippers and watches and all that, you tricked on a couple of joints, you was the man for a while, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, life goes on, stuff don't stay the same, you ain't figure it out financially wise on what to do with the money, where to put the money at so it could work for you, etc. You hear mad stories like that. Like, damn, homie, in high school, you was the man, homie. What happened to you? Like, you hear mad stories where people was getting mad money. Some people was lying, but it's a lot of old kingpins and, even former kingpins and drug dealers who was getting money, before the bid. Then you come home, you ain't put no money under the mattress, you ain't bury no money. Some wasn't even smart on that level, right? But there's no laundromats, there's no cleaners, there's no grocery stores now. You go to the heights or places where, it's still basically owned by them. A lot of them had bricks and was selling us bricks. You go to the hill and you would cop the grams and all this. And it may seem all over the place, and it also ties into what Goods is saying. What do we do with our money, even if you ain't a drug dealer? So let's take it off of that, because some people are like, well, I'm a drug. That makes it even worse, right? You're not a drug dealer. You didn't get the fast money. You got it working hard, but you're not making the money work hard for yourself, self included, right? What do we do with the money as black consumers? and I know I said I was going to end with this. I don't have the post, but it was under Dr. Boyce Watkins' page on his Instagram page. And sometimes when I be sending stuff to my page, it doesn't send. But it was a black guy telling a joke, right? About 6 or 7 ladies sitting at the table, all fly, all millionaires. I think he said millionaires. And he like, they all was dressed nice, all was dressed sexy. And the white woman, right? The white lady, they drinking, so they doing what women do, talking mess. So the white girl got up like, yeah, because y'all better watch how you talk to me, because my man, he run the world. He run the country. He do, well, not the world, but he run the country, and he'll do this and blow this up and woo and And then the Asian lady got up, right? This is a joke. The black man said it, and you could go try to find it on Dr. Boyce Watkins' page on Instagram. So the Asian lady got up like, yeah, well, my man is the manufacturer of goods, and we dominate the supply and demand of everything made in China and anything you could think of. We lead the world in technology and all that. Then the Arab girl got up, Aisha. You know what I mean? She got up like, well, y'all can say all that, but my man, basically the Arab man, y'all want to fund your wars, you want to do this, you want to do that. Well, we got the oil, like we holding all the oil, we got all the cards on the table, and woo. And the joke ends, or it was supposed to be a joke, although it's not funny, because I didn't laugh. It wasn't like no punchline, but the punchline was, that the black lady couldn't get up. And basically, like, so brothers, when we going to give, what we going to give our women to be proud of and stand up and say, what we give them to brag about, right? And then it triggered a lot of people, because but you're black. So if you black and you're a black man, you've been in this country taking a lot of shit, since we've been over here, right? It's like, yeah, you hear jokes like this, or you hear, storytelling like this, where you're the butt of the jokes, and it's like, well, what you going to give your lady, besides some Jordans and, a chain and some raps on, right? So people in the comments was triggered. Well, we God's people, we the divine, we the strongest, we the fastest, we don't own none of them leads we playing. It was a lot of discourse back and forth. And so it basically goes back to what Goods is saying. Whether you was a former hustler, whether you're a battle rapper, whether you're a hardworking man, Macron, what's the word? What do we do with our money? Because I'm sure y'all seen this post where it's like, they say we poor, but look who comes to our neighborhood to get our money. Everybody owns businesses in our neighborhood. We spend our money everywhere else. Everywhere. As soon as you get paid, your money go to the Dominicans at the supermarket. They go to the Indians that own the Kennedy Fried Chickens and the Dunkin' Donuts. They go to the Asians at the 99-cent store, the Chinese food. They go to the Africans. They own the 99-cent stores. They own the T-shirt stores. They own the BouT stores. They go to the Caribbeans, who got the Caribbean stores, the Jamaican stores. Like, everybody owns something. And I'm not saying no black people don't own that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the majority of our money, once we get it, and you work hard for it, or you risk your ass hustling to get it, or you rob somebody to get it, or you scam your way and you swipe to get it. When we get it, and it's in our hands, what do we do with it? What do we do with it? I say, buy the block back, independently, maybe on social media, and I may have to initiate, right? The Buy the Black initiative, where just think about this, and I'm going to get out of there. I know I said I was going to be on for an hour, and we went over a little bit. A lady, hope your weekend was good. Happy Monday. Just imagine that they don't got to be the drug dealers again. They don't got to be the niggas that's hustling. It could just be regular working people. 142nd my block, 145th, 155th, 1 projects. Say St. Nick Projects. I'm from Harlem, so I'm throwing these things out. If everybody in the St. Nick Projects, everybody that's able-bodied, all put $10 up every 2 months, right? Not even every week or every month. Every 4 months, so that'd be 4 times a year. After 1 year, you do the math. Yeah, at first it may not be a lot of money to really go buy nothing and do nothing, no purchasing power, but eventually it would. But now when you add all of the projects, and you say, nah, 137th, 138th, grant projects, 142nd, 145th, we all start putting our down. Now, I agree, again, when I posed this idea and I spoke about it, you would have to have somebody not like a Jay Morrison that's going to run off with your money. You know what I mean? We can't just give our money to somebody like the pastors and the big the big pimp pastors that take your money and then go buy Rolls Royces and buy their wife see-through dresses and body skin dresses for the views. It got to be somebody that's for the people that really want to see us come up. That's one way to start. And there's a lot of other ideas, but we need to start sharing more ideas, putting our money together. And like Wu-Tang said, we'll close with this. My seeds grow with his seeds, marry his seeds. That's how we keep Wu-Tang money all up in the family. What is the RZA saying? What are they saying? They're saying my seeds going to grow with your seeds, marry your seeds, and we're going to keep this money in our family. Because every time you get it, you sending the money to everybody else when you get your check. I just named all 7, 8 ethnicities that your money go to soon as when you get paid. And nobody black is on the list. Nobody in your family got not $1. You ain't helped your family at all with not $1. You gave everybody else, from the Arab to the Asian to the Indian to the Jamaican to the West Indian to the Chinese, to everybody else got your money once you got paid. But nobody black or nobody in your family, nobody in your black profited from the money. So the money keeps going elsewhere. But we do got a lot of buying power. We just have to figure out how to use it and use it properly. That's my thoughts on today's show, Monday night, Monday Motivation, Motivational Monday. I am your motivational speaker, whether you like it or not. But y'all know who it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here. One more again. Yeah, kid. Y'all be safe out there.